Sometimes you just see a movie that's so bland you can't think of anything clever or witty to come up with before the intro of your show. Max tells the story of this dog that helped the US Marines in Afghanistan. His handler gets killed, and before he's put down, Max is adopted by the handler's family living in Texas. So basically, the whole movie is about the handler's little brother trying to bond with this dog in a very generic, it's so bland movie. I really don't know how else to describe the plot. I mean, outside of something involving a arms dealer's subplot that comes crowbarred in, but I could get to that later. This movie is marketed as being from the director of Remember the Titans and the producer of Marley & Me. That movie with Jennifer Aniston and Owen Wilson where the dog dies at the end. Spoiler alert, but that's what happens. So, with the trailers I've seen, all I could think of in my mind was, okay, this is going to be a very generic, paint-by-numbers movie that is very predictable, and it just goes through the motions, but it could be sweet. It could be kind of like E.T. in a sense. I'm not going to say it's going to be E.T., but in the sense that you get this kid bonding with this animal, and hey, who doesn't love dogs? I own a dog. There's a reason why they're called man's best friend, because dogs are really awesome. So I really didn't expect much from this movie. What I didn't expect was how bland it would actually be. This is really, so far this year, even with shit like Hot Pursuit, this is one of the most predictable, cliched, corny, and calculated movies I've seen in God knows how long. It's definitely the most corny, cliched, calculated, and predictable movie I've seen this year. There are literally no surprises throughout this movie. You can pinpoint everything that's going to happen, and everything that you might predict that happens if you see this movie does happen. It's also unbelievably safe. The movie tries its best not to offend anybody so that every age range could see it. So like you don't have people curse, you don't have that much violence at all. Even when the handler gets killed, you don't see that. It's all covered in smoke. They even make the Afghanistan scenes very PG, and the rest of the movie just feels like some like direct-to-TV movie you'd see on Lifetime. It's so safe it becomes unreal. And like I said, like nobody curses, not even the ones that you can say and nobody will really get mad at you for, like hell, crap, ass, or damn. I almost kind of laugh at how safe it is. Another thing that doesn't help are the actors. I actually remember seeing Remember the Titans in theaters. that really sounded redundant, but I do remember seeing that movie in the theaters when it came out. I mean, I was 9 years old, but I do remember seeing it in the theater. And I remember really not being impressed. I've only seen it once, but I'm worried about seeing it again because this director, Boaz Yankin, doesn't really know how to direct these actors. And you have the father here played by Thomas Hayden Church, and he just looks like he's bored throughout the entire movie. Whenever he's mad at his younger son, he really doesn't put his effort into it. Here's how he acts whenever he's mad at his son. Son, you're telling me the truth or else I'm going to put that dog down. You understand me? I'm very disappointed in you. But the worst actor in this entire movie is the kid that plays the brother, Josh Wiggins, and he's absolutely terrible. I just thought he was dreadful. It was like every scene he was in, M. Night Shyamalan took over the director's chair, and he delivered a really bland performance. And throughout the whole movie, he has this face as if he's always pissed off. Even when he's bonding with the dog, he always looks like he's irritated. Now, as I mentioned before, I'd expect this to be a typical movie about a kid and his dog that bond together, and I could have went with it, but the thing that kind of kills this movie for me is that halfway through the movie, they introduce this subplot about arms dealers, and it's something that they could never have interfered with the movie. It really could have been nothing. But the main character and Max feel like it's their duty to stop the evil arms dealers. Even though they're just trying to make a profit, they're really not doing much harm at all. And because they interfere, they make situations worse for everybody. And Like, they literally crowbar that plot line in there. Like, you could get rid of that. You could have it be a continued bond between the kid, the dog, and the kid's father, and it could have worked. It might not have been good, but at least I could get behind it. That arms dealer subplot, it comes nowhere, and it just ruins the whole movie, honestly. Now, is there anything I liked about this movie? Anything at all? That's a damn good question. What did I like? Well, I guess the best thing I can say about the movie is it never angered me. But that's almost a backhanded... that is a backhanded compliment, because I literally can't think of an aspect of this movie that was good, outside the fact that I never watched it going like, oh god, I can't believe I'm wasting my time with this piece of shit. I was never offended. I mean, this movie was so safe, how could it offend anybody? But I was just bored. Like, I could, again, predict everything that was going to happen. No surprises were tossed at me. And at the end of the movie, I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. So, I can't hate the movie at all. Even though I didn't like the movie, you gotta have a heart of stone to think that this is really one of the worst movies of the year. It's not even gonna be close. I mean, we have 50 Shades of Grey out there, and I'm sure we have an Adam Sandler movie on the horizon, and I can pinpoint a couple other movies that I've seen that are worse than this. So, even though I cannot think of a single aspect that I liked, I'm gonna say don't waste your money on this movie, because what keeps me from telling it to burn in hell is that it never made me angry. So, just don't waste your money on this. If you've seen the trailers, you've pretty much seen the movie, and you can predict everything that's going to happen. And that's my review for Max. Leave a comment and tell me what you thought of the movie. If you've seen it, what did you think? Like, subscribe, share me with your friends, and this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one.